Hey everyone, Follow Myth here, and welcome to my Hangman's Alley settlement build done on my level 155 survival character with no mods or creation club add-ons. It took me almost a month to complete and a lot of hours were sunk into this project. If you guys want to see more content like this, let me know in the comments, leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe. This character also happens to have cleared the entire game, including the main storyline and all the DLCs to full completion. I have all achievements and all collectibles obtained as well, so I thought I could turn my main base into an exhibition to display all these achievements. I made several structures and displays on the sides, leaving the middle as an open pathway. We'll start with this 2-story building on this left side that has some power armor sets on the roof. On the upper floor is my main character's room with some unique collectibles on display. I have more miscellaneous items in the dresser, like the message in a bottle items and some more odds and ends. The empty container on the desk is a glitched item from the Cambridge Polymer Labs, along with the wooden mother icon from Far Harbor. I didn't put a whole lot of stuff out just because I'm building with no mods and stuff tends to fall all over the place. On this trunk I have over 200 holotapes collected from all DLCs, and on this food locker I have over 200 plus notes, pamphlets, tickets, and what have you. I actually made a guide on how to 100% Fallout 4 if you guys are interested in checking that out in the description below. I have more power armor sets on display across from here with unique paint jobs, armor and clothing pieces, as well as legendary weapons all around the base. The wooden raider shack on this side was completely covered in concrete segments since it cannot be scrapped or deleted. I only have one settler in this base since they're prone to stealing my collectibles when enemies are nearby. They also stay in limited predetermined areas and don't utilize the majority of build space. Settlers in Hangman's Alley aren't very mobile in that sense, or at least on vanilla, so I personally never populated beyond housing companions while I try getting their affinity perks. The floor was laid a few feet off the ground as to cover the unscrappable rubble and uneven soil patches, so I have a perfectly even surface to build on. On the lower floor I put in some plants and crops to decorate the entrance. I added all my workstations here for convenience. The wooden planks on the wall and fireplace can't be scrapped, so it limits my ability to cover it up, so I left it as is. On the workshop side I have several legendary weapons on display, and I managed to add in a second floor just barely touching the height boundaries of the settlement. Following this pathway, I made a room to showcase all the bubbleheads in the game and a vault trunk to store assortments of robot models. Above this room I added a fusion reactor power generator that gives 100 power to the entire settlement. I left some areas open with no floor pieces, which I filled with crops and potted plants to give some variations and aesthetic to the concrete theme. Moving on towards the midsection, I opted to do a large display of power armor sets, giving each power armor a unique modification and paint job, like the green Vim set from Far Harbor. On the second shelf I have a variation of Brotherhood of Steel paint jobs since that's who I sided with for the main quest. And on the unscrappable roof piece I put the Quantum power armor beside two other power armor sets from the Nuka world. The wall segments were an absolute nightmare to get them to connect, and so was connecting the wires individually to power up all the displays around the base. I managed to glitch some wires through the wall segments, so it all worked out in the end. On this upper floor I put in all my perk magazines from the base game, Far Harbor and Nuka World. I originally made this into a bedroom, but settlers could not reach this upper floor properly, so it was all just wasted space. The exit leading to Diamond City was completely covered in concrete segments, just barely on the edge of the buildable boundary. I managed to add in some more potted plants, along with a second story leading to an out of bounds rooftop where I put the rest of my power armor sets. This exit had a giant pile of rubble, so it took a lot of trial and error to get the concrete pieces to cover it completely. I did set up a lot of defenses around the settlement to decrease the likelihood of getting attacked, and also taking into consideration the raid spawn point under the staircase on the far end by the other exit. The collision boxes on the giant Nuka-Colas and rockets sit on the very bottom, allowing me to technically get past the height boundary with these items. As I said earlier, the concrete segments are barely touching the buildable bounds. It's unfortunate the wooden pieces here can't be scrapped. Right by the bear statue, I have a trunk filled with all Nuka-Cola recipes, schematics, tokens, and tickets. I also added in an overseer console to keep track of all my companions. Below this staircase, I left an empty spot for the raid spawns. I set up several turrets that can immediately shred any attackers. I would have put stronger turrets, but this was towards the end of my build and I couldn't get in a wire without shifting a few things above that were a pain to set up to begin with. On this third exit, I managed to cover right up to the buildable bounds. When you step out of bounds while in workshop mode, it gives you a 5-second timer, so getting this turret and additional stuff on the edge really did take a while. Moving on to the upper floors in the area, I added 4 raider posts to act like support pillars because I thought it looked kind of silly if the upper floor was just floating in the air. I have a couple of more power armor sets and some more defense turrets in case raid spawns make it past the walls and defenses set up below. The roof on this structure was laid lower than it should be due to the height boundaries. There's a wire protruding through the floor that sadly could not be scrapped off. It is what it is. This room has my remaining legendary weapons and armors. The rest of the weapons are on this wall cabinet because there's just too many items to put around the settlement. Same with my unique armor clothing sets in this locker. Following this exit, I managed to add in a staircase leading to this roof area that sits out of bounds of the settlement. Since I can't build on it, I figured I'd turn it into a power armor storage room. I have several incomplete sets and power armor frames. From here you can get a really nice view of this whole project, and it looks really fantastic. I utilized every inch of space I possibly could while keeping the concrete theme and layout within reason. This build was inspired by my former Hangman's Alley survival settlement I released almost 7 years ago, which is my most viewed settlement build on this channel. If enough of you are interested, I can try going through the raw footage and put out a build tutorial of some sort. Let me know in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed making it. Thanks for watching and I'll see you guys on the next one.